Hey guys, I've got Garuda. Well, okay, so Garuda's here. So it's James Webb Space Telescope Day. I'm just saying. They're releasing all the pictures. Yeah, let's add some hip hop music. Which isn't as hip hoppy as I would have expected it to be. Garuda is going to bring on what he's doing here. So I will use the when can attacks mode to do this. All right. So how you doing today, Garuda? Uh-oh. I think you muted yourself by accident.
There we go.
Yep, there you go. You're unmuted.
It's been a long day. Actually, conveniently, I have a meeting at like 11:30 on work. And so it's kind of a little quiet time right now, so I am going to I get a little chance to try to join you guys in Bronx.
That sounds reasonable. Hey, Hone, good to see you alive. So, actually, Garuda's closer to Hone than I am. Garuda's in India, and so Garuda's coming in from across the pond. So that's where that is. Hone is. I just lost it. Thailand. Woo! I had it and then I lost it, and I was like, see, the problem is that the sound of the sound of the two countries is so close. I have a hard time with those two, and it's not good. Yay, ADD, and it's aphasia, where you can't remember words. All right. So we're going to work on this page today for me. And I'm going to go fix a few things first on this big picture. The thing that sucks about the aphasia is that I can see the right thing in my head as an image, but I can't say the right words. Like, I had this problem with Kundi and Sorrow. I saw the right human in my head, but said the wrong word for the name. I got the names confused. And I feel like that became one of those, they thought that I was doing the all Asian people look the same thing. And I'm like, no, I could see the correct person. I saw who I was talking about. Just got the names scrambled.
I have a really bad time with names.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, I have a name that's seemingly complicated, but nobody ever gets my name wrong. Like, right. They immediately know, oh, it's Garuda, And then, but like, I mix up like people who all the Steves and Johns and Joes, I'm constantly mixing them up or forgetting their names, like on a regular basis. Like, even people I regularly work with, I'm like awkwardly asking, what's your first name again?
Right.
But it's like, I've got the weird name, and relatively weird. I have had my name horribly, but usually it's like from not from people who I like have interacted with directly. It's usually like utility companies or like job, like when I'm like applying for jobs or something like that.
Yeah, my dad always went by his middle name. because his first name was George, and like my cat, and so he always went by his middle name. And so he knew right away if they were trying to sell him something, because they'd call up and, is George there? And he'd say, no, George isn't here. Constantly had that kind of going on. So in that way, it's always useful. You could use it in the same manner, Is Garuda there? Nope, nobody here by that name.
Yeah, I think the most common one is like Gordo.
Gordo? Is Gordo there? Nope. I don't know anybody by that name either. Because then they're trying to sell you something, and you can go, well, I think
That definitely happens a lot.
Hello, Brent. Homie. So, well, Hone, you can use homie. It's just that, sadly, I think Garuda and I are of an older era, and we don't use that often anymore, or we don't use that word particularly. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not insulting or anything. It's just not something our generation tends to say.
No, I'm more like, I grew up with like gnarly and audacious and
Yeah, no.
too many.
But you can use it. The good news is you're younger than us, so you can use that without people going, "Are you okay, dude?" This won't happen if Garuda or I used it. It'd be like, "You feeling all right?" They'd be looking at us like we're weird, like maybe we're broken. But you're younger, so you can use it. Let's heat this sun up. There we go.
The Exennial is my generation. It's just
Because you're between Gen X and Millennial, aren't you?
Yeah. So it's like I'm like beginning of '82. Yeah, so it's like I grew up. I mean, I was born into like the Cold War and the era of like pre-cell phones and all that stuff. But I'm young enough to learn how to use computers and all that stuff. While I was still young. So it's like an interesting. I kind of get both worlds.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's also stuff that I'm just like, just can't relate. Just like,
Yeah, I understand. It's one of those weird things. It's like, you're born. I mean, we're all of these different generations. Are we not clicking? Are we not doing our thing here? We're not. That's why. I always find that fascinating, though, when we talk about all of us in our different generations, because like our group is scattered over so many age groups, like our art group, our art collective. Yep, that's why you're here, honey. That's why you're here. So we can say, get to work. Like, we're all supposed to. Like Brent does all the time to me. I am getting to work, even as we speak. So what you working on there, Garuda?
Yeah, sorry, I was just chose to share Photoshop, but I was just getting a reference. I was just trying to
Need to move.
work on that comic, which I just never do anything on. I'm so behind. I used to get like one or two, you know, comics a week, one or two, page or strips. Um, but I don't know. Ever since my kids were born, I just kind of just dropped off. But I don't know. This page, I've been probably trying to work on for like at least like a year and a half. I never seem to have the time to actually get it done. Maybe it's got like a lot going on, but I don't know. I really just want to get back into kind of the flow of just doing this. I really want to kind of tell this story, but
Right.
before I kick the bucket, at least like
I was gonna say before we leave this mortal coil, that's actually exactly what I'm doing. I have a thing to do before I leave, and this
especially
is
now my son is old enough, he can actually I can actually start to share this stuff with him, and that in doing so will inspire me to kind of do more. So, yeah, that's basically where I'm at. But, I've also gotten pretty rusty on my techniques and stuff. I've gotten pretty proficient on
in this image again.
Sorry. I was bringing up NASA TV so that I can. That they're now doing.
So they released the new photos.
Yep, there's more photos up now. So.
All right, I gotta check that out because when I saw the whatever the deep space 2.0 picture, which I saw, I was like they were showing like the comparison to the old one done with Hubble. And it's just kind of amazing, like mind blowing of like the difference. I'm interested to see what this new pictures are of.
Yeah, they're talking about Stephen's core quintet at this point in time, which I'm wondering.
I'll
get out of it.
All right, I just.
Oh, Brent, no. Sadly, that was an announcer on NASA TV. Art partner is out weeding because that's what she wishes to do. She wishes to weed. So, but either way, Brent, you are like really fast on the responses there. Like it must not be that lagged at all, because you're responding really quickly. Hone is packing stuff to move. That's what Hone is doing. Right. I don't know. Clean this up. Here we go. Stephen's quintet. Wonder if I can get. There should be the release of Stephen's quintet. Wonder if I can get. There should be the release of Stephen's quintet. 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 There should be I can see why they're really into this image.
Sorry about that.
Frank's going to get drunk tonight. That's what he's doing.
Pizza delivery.
Wow. There's some wild pictures like that. From the mid-infrared instrument, Sumiri. All right, looking to see. Oh, posters and infographics. I feel like I'm getting sidetracked. I am definitely getting sidetracked. Hone, you have joined the ranks of many of us who have done the exact same thing. I remember leaving Japan, and the biggest thing I was like, oh crap, this is a bad time to realize how many manga I bought while I was here. As I start loading them into boxes, and I'm like, I have to ship these back to the US, and it's going to be really expensive. Oh boy, what was I thinking? Poor Hone. I've been there. No, my star maps should be fine. There were no changes in the way that you still there, Garuda? You just dropped off there.
Yeah, no, I just turned off the video. If that's okay.
Oh, it's totally fine.
I've got the screen share going on, and I think I was just taking up some real estate from the stream here.
You're actually not, but that's okay. I can do this. So it works. I can reconfigure the workflow as usual. So.
Plus, I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna be eating some pizza.
Oh yeah, I probably don't want to see that. You're right. Wow. This is exquisite. Wow. Oh yeah, you got Windows 11 too.
Oh yeah.
We were noticing that Windows 11 now has this ominous error message now. You're like, okay. All right. I'm going to get back to work here, and I'm going to look at these pictures later. But the pictures are so pretty.
Yeah, I was looking at him with the infrared. Really, just kind of takes it to another level.
Totally does. All right, let's get this and figure this out here. Yeah. It's diminishing the quality of the picture by doing it this way, but that's all right. We're working the problem here, I think. There we go. I have a sudden urge to repair all of my star charts there. I don't know where it came from. I'm messing with Brent. Maybe I shouldn't use though this absolute black. Maybe I should use this like 10.
Yeah, Photoshop decided to just hang up on me.
Oh, that does not in fact surprise me at all.
It did let me save, but it's just like I've noticed this lately. It's like the little the selection marquee just kind of like stops, and then like I can't do input, but I can save it, and it doesn't seem it's like completely frozen. It doesn't act like it's frozen, but I can't actually do anything.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like I have to like close the file and reopen it. This is definitely like a new bug because I've only seen it in the last year.
I am getting so over it. We have somebody on here called Some User who visits the show from time to time from Switzerland, Sweden. See, it's another one. Like Taiwan and Thailand. It's Sweden and Switzerland. I get them. I literally can see the boundaries of the country. So like I can see what country we're talking about in my head, but the names get confused because they sound similar, and it drives me crazy.
Well,
But yeah, anyway, came in from Sweden and talked about, because I want to get Substance Painter, and we discovered that Adobe was charging an extra $20 a month for Substance Painter. So on top of your $50 a month, it's $20 extra for Substance Painter. And I was
wow.
like, no, I'm not messing with that. Well, then he came in and said, no. Steam has it for $150. And I was like, what? So I went and looked it up, and sure as the world, on Steam, it's $150. One license, you own it forever. So I'm going to pick up.
You can just buy it outright.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it outright. And then that way I can also tell Adobe I'm over their little game.
Steam actually has a lot of cool. I actually have a bunch of 3D modeling software and game development software on Steam.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Not what I would have expected. I am sidetracked by the James Webb Space Telescope. However, I consider that to be a legal sidetrack. Like when Garuda sends me pictures of his airplane that he's on. This is legal, I tell you. Legal. I'm allowed to do this. All right. Nope. That's one of the nice things. I keep kind of talking about working for myself. One of the really nice things about working for myself is when I'm hanging out with people that I'm working with, I can expect a little bit of, like leeway. The James Webb Telescope has released pictures, so hang on real quick. I wish to look at this, And or when you were sending pictures of the airplane while I was in a meeting with the director. Luckily, she knows me, Brent is not approving, no. That's what Brent is saying. He does not approve. And Hone is stuck with a gajillion boxes of books that he has to carry around now. I've been down that road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Nope. He's not specialist, so. There you go, guys. I think this page is done. See you later, Hone. Long day for you. We'll see you around. Sleep well. It is rather late over there on that side of the world, as you well know, as it's getting later for you too, Garuda.
I think they're with where's Hone? It's that G in Japan.
No, Hone is in Thailand.
Well, they are still later than me.
Yep. But it's still creeping up on you.
Yeah. But
Definitely true, but still creeping up on you.
yeah, I'm working on mountain time, so
Right, because you're working on our side of the world. All right, we are clear on that page. That page is complete. And then move on to this page. This page is almost ready to go. It just needs color and text. Not a big deal. Easy to fix. So, So there's a Southern Ring Planetary Nebula, and I'm not seeing the. I want to see the large version of this. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, there we go. That's how you do it. Gotcha. Oh man. That's not even 100%. Holy crap. Man, look at that, Garuda.
wow. Where did you get these really high res versions?
Off of NASA Direct. Look at all this dust being blown away from the star.
So I have a friend of mine who works at Ball Aerospace,
Uh-huh.
and they got to see the like the first image, like before it was kind of released. They had
Yeah.
like a launch party.
I mean, this is
'Cause
from the Hubble.
Yeah, they were involved in getting it up there, or I think in the
Yeah, Ball Aerospace was involved. Yeah. What gets me is things like this. This right here, which is, you're like, I don't know what this is. It's a something. And then you look over here and you're like, oh, it's a galaxy, like seen through the back of it. Right? Or like this galaxy, which is edge on right here. But because of the nature of these pictures, you would have just thought this was part of the blast being blown away from the star. Whereas in reality, it's a galaxy sitting behind this picture. Brent can see his house from here. Yar, what's the next one? Okay. Steven's.
Well, what really was getting me was on that first image, the gravitational lens, like
thing? Yeah.
that's something. It's like I never really like kind of understood until like I saw like wow.
By the way, if anybody's ever interested, you'll know whether it's a James Webb Space Telescope picture because of this. All of the stars will have 6 points. Hubble only has 4 points in all of their stars. So that's how you'll know. It's going to 100% on the show. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Look at that. The front door has been opened.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've been up to date with For All Mankind.
I am absolutely up to date to last week. To the body tackle. I'm update to the body tackle.
Yeah, did you catch the part where they already launched the James Webb, although it was like had a different name, but it's basically the same telescope, like back in the 90s. I thought that was a nice homage.
Cool. They were saying that with the telescope, there's no black spot of the night sky. So even when they just try to pick like just an empty spot like this is what happens. Like empty spots are just full of more galaxies.
Yeah. And each of those is like billions of world stars, and it's just kind of mind-boggling if you just try to think about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like these guys right here, this cluster. So the redder the galaxies, traditionally speaking, the redder the galaxies, the further out they are, the closer to the 15 billion light year zone. Oh yeah, that's why all of us need to make concessions in our stories. We all need to make concessions in our stories for light speed travel. Oh, wow. That's insane. See, this is the kind of space pictures that just make me sit there, and I could stare at this all day long and all night long and just be perfectly content with the universe. Pictures like this are so pretty. So that's the Carina Nebula. Just released that beautiful picture that I just pulled up. By the way, I'm downloading all of these. I'm just saying, I'm downloading the whole mess. I had myself a folder of James Webb Space Telescope pictures. I have a whole folder of Hubble Space Telescope pictures, and now I have better folders. Okay. However, I do wish to also get work done, so I'm going to do that as well. Thomas Paine, that's right.
The thing is really big. Just looking at a little diagram of how big the telescope is, like compared to, like, say, a 3-story office building. Pretty big.
Yeah, it is. It is huge, which is why it's getting such great pictures. I mean, it's with telescopes, it's always about the size of the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend who had, I think it was like a 1 meter lens, or maybe not even that big. I don't know. It was not super big. Maybe like 30 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And
You just went from 1 meter to 30 inches. I'm just saying, Garuda.
okay, I know, but I mean, it's. I'm just trying to remember how big it was, but I just remember it wasn't. I mean, it was big, but I mean, obviously not like giant. And it had like a, but you know, we were able to look at, like, you know, Andromeda and Trabian and Nebula, Orion, stuff, and then like Jupiter and the moons. But you know, but yeah, you know, they have all those. This was up on Mauna Kea, up on where they have their, yeah, where they. I mean, we didn't have access to go in the actual telescopes in there, like the big ones, which they actually, those are pretty. They're probably the best ones. Some of the best that are on the ground. Like the I think it's a Subaru one, which is like, it's basically 2 side by side, so it can capture in stereo and like get the depth.
Yeah, okay. Like the body tackle was the best part of filming. So I follow Chris Marshall on Instagram, and she's very active. She'll respond to things, and so I've been making like all kinds of cool comments to her and stuff like that about that, because it's been so much fun.
I think it was that Ed was trying to save Danny, um, Danny Stevens.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, I'd like to think that Ed finally had a turnaround from his earlier. We all know that you were being only brought on because you're black comment that he had made earlier in the season.
Yeah, that was like
And so
that
I
was
would like to think that
pretty
that
heavy.
was,
That was like pretty rough to hear.
yeah.
Then you think about it, I was like, well, it's probably something that he could have said.
Well, there are a lot of people who believe
Time
this, especially
period.
in the 90s. I mean, that's, you know, that was, I mean, my dad said that. Heck, I think I might have even thought that at some point in time too. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we were doing in the 90s. There was a lot of chatter in the media about that. There was a lot of, it was like, oh, it was brutal. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Guy, do you still use like from Flambot fonts?
Do I use Blambot fonts?
Yeah.
No. Why?
I was just wondering what font do you use?
Uh, Guy Sirius, #1.
Oh, so it's your own one?
Yep, that's my handwriting. I specifically made my own font because I felt bad. Like, I have a font creator here, so I just went in and I looked at all of the different fonts out there and kind of got an idea of what really is sort of the requirement for a font and stuff like that. So yeah.
What is font creator do you use?
There's a website out there, and I'll have to go look it up. But they let you download their templates. You write the letters in each one of the squares in the templates. You re-upload the templates, and then it makes the font for you for about $10.
Huh. Yeah, I've not been able to like the last time I was looking for a font program, it was like the only version of legitimate software I could find was like Fontmonger 4, which barely it was very hard to get working on an operating system newer than Windows 95. It was just like, I don't know, they just don't make them because they're very, because I think that was like Adobe or Macromedia. And it was like, well-developed software, but then there was just no new version of it.
Right.
But I guess now everything is on the web, right?
Yeah. Well, and that was something that a lot of people online are having a problem with is the Danny storyline. They're saying it's not real, and really, what I think they're doing is they're mimicking the Lisa Nowak story arc. Lisa Nowak was an astronaut, a NASA astronaut who went crazy.
Yeah, like driving cross country and wearing diapers so that you
Yeah.
don't have to go crazy.
But that's I think that's what they're trying to mimic with Danny.
I think they might, I mean, they obviously wanted.
Hello, some user. We were just talking about you, and your wonderful realization to download things off of Steam. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying. I mean, they have to be building that plot line something, because otherwise they would have just dropped it from the previous season, which up to a certain point in the first episode of this season, I thought that's where they were going to go. But because like I don't know, there's probably going to be some kind of conflict, some kind of reveal, and it's gonna like affect something. I don't know. It's either Ed, maybe he gets killed or something like that, or I don't know. It must be for some purpose, but it's just like the whole, all the parts leading up to it is just dragging.
Right.
I just wish it was like, get over with it, just move on from this. But it's gonna come up to it's like the whole thing in the last season. Although the payoff wasn't that big, but it got to where Ed was almost like had his hand on the trigger, with at the Buran. Which I was happy that they had Sally Ride, represented in that.
Me too.
Because I mean, I think at this season till date, there hasn't been really any real world astronaut representation. I mean, that I know of. Because like in the last season, there was several. There was like the ESA astronaut, who was saved by Margot, or not Margot, by Molly. Amongst others. Of course, and then of course Sally Ride, and then you still and then you had the actual original Apollo astronauts in the first season. I mean, I guess though they may have like diverged so much from our timeline that may have like be kind of unrecognizable.
Right. making sure that I follow what recommendation from Brent. Which was to not, or make sure that I go back and make sure that she's not getting her chops busted. Yeah, I know. I saw it go yellow. I stopped NASA TV just in case, but we'll have to see whether it should be green again now. I did switch to my 5G router instead of my 2.4, and that helped. But I mean, I don't know if that's going to last. Why do you do that? Oh yeah, but he's still unconscious, so we're good.
I kind of hope that they Kelly Baldwin like gets pregnant from the cosmonaut, and they have like a Martian baby.
A Martian. Okay.
That's probably there, but that would be funny if they did.
We should be getting canned pretty soon. Yeah, they've done a really good job with makeup. When they first brought on the character Kelly's character, they brought her on, and she looked like she was 14 or whatever. And the actress isn't any older. I mean, she's not that much older since that season. So it's like, but she now looks like she's a very reasonably, young woman. It's kind of funny. I was like, that's really well done. Like when artists do art stuff, that's an art thing. Makeup artists are definitely in the awesome art folks thing. Nope. He's in a different color. I need to remember. It's good to see you doing actual scripts over there. Good job.
Your voice is still Johnny 5 going out.
Is my voice still robotic?
Yes, and very static.
That's interesting because I've got 10 of 10 on my connection.
At least it is for me, and your screen also has been flickering.
You're strong too. You and I are both at 10 of 10, which is weird. Shouldn't be that robotic.
It's also like sped up sometimes.
Maybe I'm going too close to the black hole. Have you ever considered that, Garuda?
Well, that will.
Yeah, that would definitely be part of the reason. Yeah, I have chosen a zillion different colors for better spec. I need to come up with a better spec for him. I liked where I made his hands red. Just figure what page that's on. That's not up here. It's not there. It's going to change those colors because there's no red bone. Here, this is where I made his hand red. I like that one. Yeah, these are the best colors. legitimately, I need to just start unifying this because I am way off of all of the colors for a better spec. And we gotta make sure that we are emptying the background here. So I thought, okay, good. Good. Because these guys need these two panels and this panel. Need some textures. Time for textures. I like to use layers tone and stuff these weird things where just kind of. It's funny, last night we had Kat on here. We were talking about, all the things that we were kind of doing, all those weird things that, like, why do you do this? And so I was like, I continue to use these screen tones that I bought when I was in Japan. And I bought them from Joyful Honda, which is an art store. When they were on sale, anytime those screen tones would be on sale, I'd go in and pick them up and bring them home and then scan them at 600 dpi. And I've been carrying them since I got back from Japan. And every time I make these manga, I just use them to kind of, texture out a background. Like in this instance here, I'm just texturing out this background behind her so that she has something going on behind her. So it's very funny that we were talking about that last night. And Kat was like, "Hey, why are you doing that when you have so many awesome screen tones available to you in Clip?" And I was like, "Because I know it. I don't know. It's like it's just one of those things. Like because I understand it. This is something I get, and so that's really what it boils down to. Is this doesn't bother me as much."
Well, you're talking about old stuff. I don't know. I got these layer styles probably like 20 years ago at least.
Right.
And I don't know, I still like hang on to them, even though like Photoshop barely even supports this stuff anymore. I just like every time I reinstall Photoshop, I'm like, okay, I gotta import all my old styles and brushes and whatnot.
Right. Right.
Back in the day when you had Photoshop and Image Ready, and then because they sucked, they ditched Image Ready in favor of Fireworks, and I hated Fireworks.
Oh yeah, Fireworks sucked. Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, they were good to get rid of Go Live in favor of Dreamweaver, but I don't know. I thought Image Ready was superior to Fireworks. It worked so much better with Photoshop, at least for making web stuff.
Right. They always seem to get rid of the things that I like. You know what I mean? Like, I'll remove all the brushes and just use part of them. So I just want to figure out if I have like 2 or 3 brushes and a bunch of brushes from this side and from this side. And you know what I mean? Like this collision of brushes. All I can find online is how to export a brush. Right? I've got like 20 of them or 30 of them. I want to do one brush. Oh, mess. How do I do that? I am. I'm on 30% connection. What the hell's going on, guys? Sorry. I am clearly having a bad internet day.
Yeah, I figured if anybody would have bad internet, it would be me. But
right?
Yeah, something's going on with your connection.
Now, I think they work on our internet during the day out here, like putting in fiber and stuff like that, thinking that You know, so I think that's what happens. But it's irritating because I mean, a lot of times I am not like can hear me.
Yeah, I can barely make out what.
Yeah, that's what the user is saying. So I will wait until I'm no longer at 30%.
That's interesting. Did Photoshop change the undo just to Control Z? You know,
Not that I'm aware of.
That's
I know that they changed the save, but not the undo.
well, because it used to be Control Z, and then you just go back and forth between the last change. But now I'm just repeatedly pressing Control Z, and it just keeps on going back through the history.
Oh yeah,
And I never,
but that
never remember it. When did that change?
100 years ago. That changed a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, that changed. Gosh, quite a while back. But you can switch it. It's in your.
Oh, what is going on here?
Somewhere in preferences.
I don't know, but I don't know if maybe it's the sharing, but it's like making everything kind of glitch out on me.
Yeah, that might be. Some user thinks it's been removed.
Really?
So
It's weird. Anyways, I mean, I kind of like the old method of just going back, because all you had to do was just press Control Shift Z, and then you could just go back through your history. But like that quick Control Z back and forth, was useful if you just like if you made a change or you drew something and then you just kind of wanted to go back and forth to how it is. But yeah, I'm not even seeing it there. It's lame. And I can't go back because I'm just on whatever the cloud version that gives me. I don't even know. What is this? What are we on?
Shift Control Z is the forward to redo. So Control Z and then Shift Control Z.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I guess they just kind of reversed it. Yeah.
Oh, your message got removed. Gotcha. Yeah, no. Yeah. So that's something I've noticed happens a lot. Is that's one of the things that really made me mad was this last batch. They changed the save as function. So now save as will only allow you to save as a Photoshop file or a TIFF. So if you want to save as a JPEG, you have to save as a copy, and then it calls it, whatever copy.jpg. So then you have to go and delete the word copy.
Well, that one looks like they have. You can do the legacy save as.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just became a pain in the butt. I'm like, you know what? I'm over it. I'm so over it.
Yeah, no, I get like some of the stuff, like the legacy, like the like the levels, and you can do it's easy with those stuff. It's easy to like, use the legacy version of the brightness contrast or whatever, or maybe they took that out too.
Yeah, well, they're clearly doing an awful lot of, and then you can just use the legacy thing. It's fine thing a lot, and I'm kind of over it. I'm just over them screwing with stuff. Here's my better spec color code file thing.
Well, I think I've gotten everything colored on this. Oh wait. I am disgusted by how the line work turned out on this. I just want to redo all of this and then recolor it.
So, my partner has often said that she prefers to read, or she prefers it when it evolves, when the comics evolve, because then she can see the growth in the artist. But she actually doesn't like it when the artists go back and redraw the beginning comics. If that helps you at all.
Yeah, no, I get it. I did when I first started. I wasn't doing color, and I went, but I wasn't very far along. Then I was like, well, I might as well just do color because I think it just looked better for what I was trying to go with, and it wasn't very much harder to include the color. And so then I just went back and then colored, my first 20 comic, 20 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there was some things I wanted to, some things I want to change is mainly with the, or I actually did and went, is the, in my early comics, I didn't have a good style down of doing like the speech bubbles. And then I kind of figured out the method of how I wanted to do it later on. And so I think I also went back and then like fixed the speech bubbles because I was just using, ellipses without warping them. And it just looked so different. And that was something that was pretty easy to fix, to go back and then make them the kind of,
So are you saying you had ellipses then with fixes?
Yeah, so I went back and then, I fixed, because the original were just ovals instead of going in with the Bezier tool and adjusting the
giving them life is what I think you're trying to say. We're making them a little bit more lively.
Let's see here. Direct select. Pass selection. There we go. Yeah, so where I go in and
fixes with the fixes. Sorry.
Here we go. Yeah, so like I didn't really know how to do this kind of stuff very well, and then so like it really makes an improvement. Because I actually learned this. I sat down with I think it's Mark Nelson. He's worked on like stuff with. I did a class, and it was I think it was Mark Nelson. Well, there was two guys. I mean, the main guy who was giving the class, he was mainly doing the drawing stuff. But then this guy he was like professional letterer, and then I just asked him, if he could just share some tips, and so he kind of showed me how he did like these how he did the speech bubbles, and then I kind of just like was like, wow, yeah, that is actually really easy, but it looks like 100 million times better. And so then I thought it was pretty justified to go back and then just fix my speech bubble, because it just it's like makes such a difference, when you can kind of have this natural shape that like fits to the text body in a kind of a natural way. But yeah, Bezier tools all the way. Yeah, and also like when you have two bubbles merged to each other and they kind of like overlap just slightly. That's kind of a nice way to kind of extend out your bubbles. All right, Guy, I'm going to drop off. I have to get back to
work.
I'm actually supposed to be working right now, and I've just been taking. I was really just so much hankering to actually do drawing, because every time we go meet up, it's like we always just end up playing Magic, and then I never like can just sit down and get in the mood to draw, and so it's just like
it actually is my
in the mood.
Right. We only play them once or twice so that they will asking to play with them all the time. Be aware, I work tomorrow and the next day, so I'll be in. So I will not be here. So just so you know. Look at Brian. I think you're Brian Mike. Usually when I'm off, Brian goes over and runs the show without me. He can come on and talk, and like today he didn't come on. So back down to like 20% again. I'm getting all robotic. 30%.
Yeah. Well,
but just
it's
you know, try to join tomorrow.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I heard that.
So, okay. Well then, have a good work day, my friend, and I will see you later.
All right. Well, thank you very much for inviting me in.
No problem.
And,
join us anytime.
How often do you do the evening one?
The evening one I do all the time. So this one I'm only doing whenever I'm not working, me personally. But like it's even Brian's been doing the weekend one, so he even does it on the weekend. So he'll do it Friday, Saturday night. Friday night for me is art night for our family, and then Saturday is D&D. So I don't do Friday and Saturday, but I usually am here Sunday night.
I can probably join more of the evening ones, I think, if I can get into like just figure out like the schedule.
That works.
Anyways, I'll sit down. Thanks a lot.
See you later. Bye, Garuda.
Bye.
Oh, I'm back up to 90%. Boy, today is really a lousy internet day. Kind of a bummer. I'm sorry about that, guys. I mean, not like I can do much about it, but yeah, I'm still sorry about it. And I'll go ahead and just clean this up so that I'm going to have a little bit longer on the show, but I want to try to get as far as I can here. So one of the things is to make better spec the right colors. Like I've already decided over here, these are the colors that I want to make better spec when we get there. So we made him in the correct colors. We'll save. We're just going through and fixing better spec everywhere because so there's two things going on with better spec. He's a sergeant, so he's enlisted. So that means that his uniform is this lighter gray instead of this darker, which is blue. The uniform for enlisted is the same shape as everybody else. It's just that it's gray instead of blue. So the next thing we want to make sure is that he is correct here. Here he is. And we have him anywhere else. But other than right here where he is, it's fine. So better specs wearing this light sea green. It's like a seafoam green, which is the color of specialist. So when we talk about like her, she's a specialist, so she's got that seafoam green. She's an officer though, so she's got the darker blue uniform. So like when we put all the colors in, she's got that seafoam green, which it's funny. On my monitor, it actually looks green. It's kind of funny. And I can't tell if that's psychosomatic, like my brain sees it as green because it must be green or something. I don't know. We have about 10 minutes left. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this guy. all that's left are just the frames that belong. I don't know why I'm not in the correct order, but these are the frames that belong. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn off the ruler. We're going back again, huh? Yeah. I feel like we're having a problem today. It's 80%. Back up to 100%. Okay, we're going to Control Shift E, and Control Copy, Control C, Control Paste. And now we have a copy of the layers. Or we can turn on these guys here. So now that we've done all of this, we're going to take this outer edge here. We're going to cut to the edge of here, 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 and here. Okay, so now that we've done that, we have a layer on top. And here's our home layer. This layer then we can make sure isn't gray. It doesn't need rulers at all. Okay, so we'll delete the ruler out of it because we don't need the rulers. Good. So it's giving me another error to say that it's not in its correct color. That's all right. I just want to make sure that we're not messing with something here that's going on. So we're going to then take here, we're going to there, and make sure that there's in the background out so that I can put so let's go ahead and do this. Let's put this in here. Drop that down just a little bit. We're gonna go to black and let's put in the That's right. We got to put this thing to sleep. The background to sleep, otherwise it locks it into the where we don't want them. Right. So, bridge. 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 Okay. Right. What's going on down there? Then Gravitic says it looks like we hit a green bridge. So, there we go. So it looks like we hit a brain ridge, sir. Seem to have just left. could have been much worse. Right? Oh. House bridge, may round. Did you slip up? And here's the techno babble. I dot. Wait. It's gonna be wrong. I don't think so, sir. It's almost like we jumped between our translate LAT. House. See you later. I'll see you at this evening's festivities or whatever. No, I don't need you. All right, for those of you who are following from home, we just spattered everything with techno babble. So there's another page with a wall of indecipherable techno babble. Just for you people, because I love you. Alrighty. The balloon tail is in. So when he says brain rich, what he means is I'm in brain rich. gravitic, I guess, or a better word, there's gravity walls like they like this. And in between is this frame of gravity network, and hit those bridges, the ship bounces off of it. What he means by it could have been much worse, if it had hit straight on, it would have crushed into the membrane bridge. Poincaré was a scientist that talked about like subatomic cohesion. And so when she's talking about translations in Poincaré, she's talking about mathematical stuff that's going on between the translations between the bridge rims. And so the Minkowski frames then are these zones that are in between those. So like when you're looking at, like, say, a planet moving through space, it's moving along and leaving a wake behind it, like you'd see on the surface of a lake. If you took a stick and drew through water, it would leave these trails behind it of, slowly decaying ripples. And one of those is what we call an frame in here, in this gravity. So it looks like, she was saying, it looks like we jumped to the entire Minkowski frame. So next. Looking at it, they smack to the frame, the membrane ridge along that side. Bam! Nailed it. She's what we're getting is, would you just go up? And it's kind of honest. I do that. Do that. Someone do that. She's like, no, I didn't mean that. So we're almost done. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep going temporarily. And I need the chatter. I like this stuff. Then I can take it, because I don't feel like she's in a horrible, bad situation. She's not feeling very bad, so I don't want to keep it black. So I'm select that, and I'm going to take this, and she just needs some kind of background there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to desaturate just a little bit. Get the tonal correction a little. Here we got luminosity, right? If we raise the luminosity, it becomes sort of like this, and sort of a nice subtle background instead of being so dramatic. You don't want the background to be that dramatic. Just enough to give texture to the back. It's the only frame in here that doesn't have a background in it. So flatten that down. We need that anymore. I'll keep it going. Now we're just going to real quickly. We do have better specs information up. I'm going to go ahead and just color them in. Okay. And we'll go ahead and make their filled in so it's properly. Grab her skin. She's definitely dark skin. Maybe brown's got specialist colors, so just like better spec. So we're going ahead and put in specialist colors so that we don't have to worry about it. And then we'll grab the uniform colors for everybody who's an officer. Right. You. And then you. Okay. Now the last color set that we need to do is the line colors for the line officer, and that's her. And then we will call this a day for the show. Put in her line colors. And all is good. So, the colors of the uniform are important to what they do and how they enact and work together. So, there's still some details I need to do. Like, for example, Mayrell's eyes turned dark like her skin, so we want to, of course, go back and fix that. We'll have to do that in a bit, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to save this page so I can go get lunch. But this page is almost complete as well, which will put us with a number of pages that are already completely done. And that's actually good because we are moving along quite well. I need to change this background to that other picture because we got all those pictures downloaded. Right? So let's see if I can find the pictures. I want to put that in the cool background folder. So we will do that real quick because I know that I got the downloads here. These guys are the downloads. So I will copy them. I'll go out to my desktop where I put the pictures just out in the open. That makes total sense. And I'll come over here and let's put that. I like it. That the let's do this. Put that way. This picture. Yeah. Right? Isn't that cool? I'm going to shrink it down to fit properly. There we go. There. Oh, that's better. I love that. Now that'll be there whenever we get to all the other things too. But for right now, that works. Green nebula. Okay, guys. I'm OH. I'll see you guys tonight. Have a good day. Bye-bye.